Well, hello and welcome to Delightful, Delicious, Delovely. My name is Christine Elise, and it has been a very long time since I have posted anything with any regularity. That's a function of a number of things, among them I worked last summer and then I went and the holidays and whatever. I'm not going to lie, a little bit of why I have been less than enthusiastic about the channel is because I get so much negative feedback. But moving on from that, we are currently everyone in the world is dealing with this pandemic, coronavirus, and people are sheltering in place for most of this country. If they're not doing it by law, they're doing it voluntarily. Let's hope. When it first became a big news story and people in Wuhan, like the 19,000 people in Wuhan, had it or something, some huge number like that, I looked up Wuhan and I found out that there's a traditional dish in Wuhan called hot dry noodles, Wuhan noodles. It's a street food, very, very popular in China, but it's, I guess, originated in Wuhan. I looked up a bunch of ways to make it. I didn't have a lot of the ingredients that were in most people's recipes, so I'm sort of winging it and making an adaptation of it here with what I do have. Primarily, it needs an ingredient called Chinese sesame paste, which is made apparently from toasted sesame seeds and sesame oil. Tahini is allegedly a close cousin, but tahini is made from raw sesame seeds and olive oil, so it isn't exactly the same in texture or flavor. I'm going to use a mixture of tahini and sesame oil to replace the Chinese sesame paste. You could also do a little combination of sesame oil and peanut butter. There were lots of different recipes using some more obscure ingredients. The most obscure thing I'm going to be using here is a combination of black or light and dark, thin and black soy sauces. If you don't have those things, just use regular soy sauce. I'm sure it's not going to make that big of a difference. It's also supposed to be made with alkaline noodles, those fried, I think they're fried, alkaline noodles that are kind of curly. I don't have those either. I have this organic ramen. Regular spaghetti would work too. In a pinch, so you don't have to have it's been a long time, I'm rusty. So I'm going to be using these, and I'll get to that in a second. So this is how many ounces? This is 9 ounces. So I'm going to double my sauce recipe just so that I can definitely have enough for this much noodles and maybe some extra, and I can just boil more noodles and use the sauce. So here to start with, I'm going to start with the tahini, which is, I'm going to use about 4 tablespoons of tahini, which is, I'm not much of a measurer. That's 1, that's 2, what a mess, calling that 3, calling that 4. All right, that was 4 tablespoons of tahini. I'm going to use what I consider to be the equivalent of 2 to 4 garlic cloves. This is squeegee, pressed, already minced garlic in a squeezy tube. Okay, 4 tablespoons of garlic. I'm going to use, I need some balsamic vinegar, hang on. Back with the balsamic. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons, calling that 1, calling that 2 tablespoons of balsamic. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Sounds like a lot, but 1, 2, sesame oil tastes and smells so delicious. And 2 tablespoons each of the light, this is not open yet, light and dark soy. 1, 2. Same with the dark. Call that 1. Call that 2. I'm going to use a pinch of Chinese 5-spice and a pinch of salt. Light with the salt because these soy sauces are probably salty. And I'm going to whisk this together. It looks thin looks thinner than I think it's supposed to be. Maybe I'll add a little peanut butter to this to thicken it up. For the heat, it's dry hot. They're supposed to be dry noodles, not wet noodles. I'm going to add a teaspoon of, this is sambal olek. I would have used chili oil had I had it. I don't. Sambal olek is the red chili paste, basically. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of peanut butter just to thicken this, because I don't like the consistency, and I know the noodles are called dry, so I want them to be dry. Unfortunately, I only have Skippy Super Chunk, and not much of it. I think this would be better served, maybe even with a Chinese peanut sauce. Is that too thick or too... Ah, fuck it, I'm just gonna use the peanut butter, because it's definitely thick. That's probably 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. It probably would be better to use an all-natural, unsweetened peanut butter, or maybe even a sesame butter. I don't have that, I have Skippy. That's what I'm using. I don't want to use this. I am so rusty. All right, that's thicker and good. Okay, so what I'm going to taste it actually. See what this tastes like. It smells very peanut buttery. Ooh, it's salty. What can I do? Kind of make that not so salty. Wowee, tastes good, but it is salty. What can I add? Like this sauce texture. I think I'm going to add. A little bit of sugar. Hold on. Sugar. I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar. Pardon my hands. I live alone. I'm the only one that's going to be eating this. All right. Okay. Let's see if that tastes any better. Yeah. I would think if I had to do this over again, I wouldn't add balsamic. All right. I'm going to cook the noodles. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. These are the soba, ramen. What did I use? I use ramen noodles. So here they are. And I'm going to add a little of this sauce. This is not authentic. I really am rusty at this. I'm just going to toss not all of that sauce with these noodles. And I might drizzle a little bit of extra sesame oil on there, because I just really like the taste of sesame oil. And the smell, oh, it smells very peanutty and good. Now, if you don't have these ingredients, or this dish doesn't appeal to you, I have several other noodle dishes on the channel. My favorite of which is the hibachi noodles. It's like a sticky chicken and hibachi noodles. The hibachi noodles are basically tossed with a combination of butter, brown sugar, soy sauce, garlic, maybe some chili flakes, and that's that sauce. It's really, really easy and really, really good. So that's that. This is, I don't usually taste my food on this show, because typically the recipes that I've made before, and I know how they taste, so I should really taste this, I suppose. Let me get a little plate. Okay, I have a little plate. I would garnish this, by the way, with some scallions, and just to break it up the color, a little bit of black sesame seeds and some white sesame seeds. This is just for appearance, really. Oh, I said I was going to drizzle some more sesame oil on there. Just a little. Ooh. Drop on here. Doop. All right. Here we go. Don't like eating on camera. It just feels like vulgar. All right. Let's see. They're good. They're very, very peanutty for obvious reasons. Not spicy. I'd make them spicier. Did I put the sambal olek in there? I forget. Did I even put it in? If I didn't, that's why they're not spicy. I don't think I did. They're quite tasty. Very peanutty. I think I'm going to revisit this recipe when I get the proper traditional ingredients. But yeah, there you have it. I would really call these peanut noodles. They're pretty yummy. They needed the sambal olek. I didn't put it in, did I? You watched me not put it in and didn't say anything. I recently got some grief from somebody who was upset that vegan food costs too much, and demanded to know why it was priced the way it is. This may be news to everybody, but I don't set the prices on other people's products. But the expensive vegan stuff in the world, expensive is relative, I understand that. But so for example, Beyond sausages are like $8 for 4. It's $2 a sausage. I guess haven't had a real sausage in so long. I don't even know what a real sausage costs, but maybe that is a lot. If you've got a large family and you need to buy a couple packs, that would add up pretty quickly. But she's like, we can't afford to eat healthy because it's too expensive. And then she cited ramen noodles as what people who are on a budget eat. And while I get that, I've eaten ramen noodles on a budget too. Everybody has. They're absolutely without nutrition. There's no nutritional value in them whatsoever, and they're wildly, wildly fattening. I love them. I could live on them. I don't eat them as a soup. I drain them and eat them dry, and I could eat a case of them in a day. But they're fried first, so they're fried noodles. They're very, very, very fattening. It's a very inexpensive source of calories, but it's absolutely without nutrition. And I argued back that I could feed her large family for as little money, but with some nutrition if I fed them things that had beans and rice as a base, or lentils, or pasta. I mean, a pound of pasta is $1 at a regular store, not even at the dollar store. A pound of pasta could feed 4 people pretty well. And I have recipes for homemade pasta sauces that you can use the big can of just tomato sauce and add some spices to it. And those cans cost, what, $1.50 for a, what do they call it, a 32-ounce can. There's ways to feed people for not a lot of money. And I happen to love beans and rice and lentils and those things. And so there's a plethora of recipes that use those things that are cost effective. There's a reason why the poorer communities in the world live on things like rice and beans, is because they are affordable and they do have nutritional value. So yeah, I will link the hibachi noodles below. Pardon me for being just so rusty. And I will revisit these Wuhan hot dry ones again. I'll do a second pass when I have a chance to get to the Thai market and buy the proper sesame paste, etc. That said, I also want to mention that ethnic markets, if you live in a neighborhood or a community that has ethnic markets, I live right near Thai town, and it's a large Hispanic community in all of Los Angeles, obviously. So there's a lot of Hispanic markets and a lot of Thai and Korean markets, and they have loads and loads of food and supplies that people, the general public isn't going to the Thai market to buy toilet paper. So you might find toilet paper at the Thai market. I don't know what this toilet paper rush is about, but it seems to have infected everybody. Pardon that pun. You won't find, culturally, you won't find things that culture finds valuable. Like my favorite Thai market in town here is called Bang Lak. They have literally pallets of rice that are stacked this high. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of rice. They're out of rice. But they have all the produce in the world, and it's very inexpensive. And spices and noodles. Noodles were abundant. I bought 5 pounds of yakisoba noodles for, I think, $4.99. So yeah, think outside the box when you're going shopping for things, for groceries, and think about, don't overlook the ethnic markets in your neighborhood that you may not have had the guts to walk into for whatever reason. I love them. I've reviewed them on my blog. The Korean market, Super King here, is a Middle Eastern owned, I think, market that has all Middle Eastern things, like 8 million kinds of feta cheese and fresh grape leaves, and that kind of olive, lots of olives. So be experimental and maybe, branch out a little bit. Again, this can be made with spaghetti instead of ramen. And yeah, I am just a talking, boring person. I apologize. So with that, this is my vegan Wuhan spicy hot dry noodles. Hot dry. They're called hot dry. They're not hot. I forgot the sambal, like I'm pretty certain. Anyway, I think I'll be doing this more because I'm home. I have nothing else I can do, so expect more recipes in the near future, and pardon my rusty demeanor and inability to be articulate. Okay, please subscribe, and until next time, stay safe. Social distance, and stay safe.